Well, good afternoon, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from Destin, Florida, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. I know I don't sound as fired up as I usually am, and that's primarily because I'm chilling like Bob Dylan. So I'm going to have a quick conversation with you about a concept, especially in America, that is talked about a lot. They talk about being well-rounded, the concept of being well-rounded. Let's talk about this concept of being well-rounded, because it is not a bad concept. In fact, it's a really great concept for the masses. It is a phenomenal concept for the masses, simply meaning it is a message that appeals to the majority of people, especially in America. What would you call being well-rounded? Being well-rounded would mean similar to a jack of all trades, somebody who knows a pretty decent amount about a lot of things and has significant interests in a lot of things, and who is what you would call well-rounded. The challenge I find with being well-rounded versus intensely grounded, and this is a message for the other 2%, for those of you that are hearing, being well-rounded means you gonna roll off into pretty much anything. You'll roll off in anything. You don't necessarily stay intensely grounded into one thing. Well, you might say, Steve, what's the problem with that? That is not a problem for the majority of the planet. Not a problem at all. However, if you sense that you are potentially a world changer, somebody who is going to affect the lives of hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of people, there will be a noted, marked portion of your life where you will not be known as well-rounded. You will be known maybe as a little weird, maybe a little off, maybe a little whack. You know, I can't really get with that guy, can't really get with that girl. You know, that woman, all she is she's just all about this. She's just about that. She's so highly focused on that. I mean, that's all she's about. See, are you well-rounded or intensely grounded? For the 98%, well-rounded is definitely something to pursue. For the other 2%, being intensely grounded means that you will be known for being highly focused in a particular area for an extended season, and yet the fruit will be significant when you emerge. Just like the Chinese bamboo, you guys know the story about the Chinese bamboo. You plant the Chinese bamboo and you water and fertilize it all the time, and you see nothing for years, literally years. Then in the spring of, I believe it's either the 4th or the 7th year, it shoots up 90 feet tall within 6 weeks. Think about that. If at any time they had stopped watering or fertilizing the Chinese bamboo, it would have never come out. And after years of watering and fertilizing, it shoots up 90 feet tall within 6 weeks. So the question I ask you is, did it grow 90 feet in 6 weeks? Or did it grow 90 feet in several years and then 6 weeks? Well, you're absolutely right. Tell them what's next, Bob. It grew in years plus that 6 weeks. What was happening during that season when it was not seen? It was not well-rounded, it was intensely grounded. I'm glad you asked. Here's what was happening. The root system was being developed. That root system was going deep and going wide. It was deep and wide, so that when it shot up as high as it did, as quickly to the naked eye and others as it appears to grow, it wouldn't fall over when crap knocks it down. What does that look like when you are intensely grounded versus being well-rounded? I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like you're working on character. You're working on integrity. You're working on keeping your word. You're working on doing what you say you're going to do. You're working on being ridiculed. You're working on being hated on. You're working on being judged and how you handle that. You're working on others not understanding you. You're working on being misunderstood. You're working on folks not able to get with what you're doing, because you see, rather than being well-rounded and rolling all around, you are intensely grounded, highly focused. Now, here's the key factor in why I think coaching and having accountability with anybody is a good thing. And forgive me, there's a helicopter coming. It's going to get crazy for a second. You do not become intensely grounded at the cost of your faith or your friends or your family. Let me say that again. You do not become so intensely grounded that you do it at the cost of your faith, your family, or your friends. There are ways, there are levers, there are commitments, there are activities that will allow you to keep your focus. I'm going to shut up for a second. AJ, get that helicopter. Isn't that nice? That's cool stuff, right? I wish they made helicopters for huge families. It'd be a fun thing to do with the whole family. Intensely grounded or well-rounded. Let's address that one more time. Never become so intensely grounded that you do it at the expense of your faith, your family, or your friends. So the difference between being well-rounded and intensely grounded is a question of focus and commitment. And I would even say passion, but not according to the definition you may be thinking of. For those of you that are unaware, when you think of passion, you think about something. Have you ever heard of the Passion of the Christ? The Passion of the Christ? That wasn't Jesus going, woo, I am so passionate, man. Woo, I'm passionate about going to that cross and getting nailed to it, getting beaten and spit on and dying for the sins of the world. Woo, I'm so passionate about it. It's not that. If you go to the original breakdown, the etymology of the word passion, it means suffering. Suffering. You see, when you look at a passionate person, it's not just a fired up or motivated or inspired person. A passion is someone who stays committed to the task long after the desire and the goosebumps have gone away. It has to do with commitment, it has to do with focus, and it has to do with staying the course over time, not necessarily well-rounded, being intensely grounded. So I ask you today, my friends, there's no issue, there's no right or wrong, there's no better than or worse than. However, if it is your desire and intention to be a world-changing force in this life you have been given, on the short days we've been given on this beautiful planet under the sun, then ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna have to go Chinese bamboo for a season. You're gonna have to go Chinese bamboo for a season. Really work on that character, the integrity, your word, your commitments, your focus, your passion, because anything and everything in this life is gonna come against you when you are not well-rounded. When you are a jack of all trades, guess what you're not? You are not a master at anything. A jack of all trades, master of none, is what the quote says. Do you intend to master something intently? You're gonna have to Chinese bamboo. Do you intend on changing the world? You're gonna have to Chinese bamboo. Do you intend on using and spending your life in service to hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of others? You're gonna have to go Chinese bamboo for a season and work on those character developmental stages of growth so that when you grow up, you won't blow up. Because your talent and your gift can take you somewhere, but only your character and integrity will let you stay there. Ladies and gentlemen, I leave the question to you. Are you going to be well-rounded or intensely grounded? You get to answer the question. Either answer is great. Have a wonderful day, guys.